Okay, before you officially start writing your script, before you're ready to start writing, there's just a couple of things you need to take care of. Number one, if you were absent yesterday, it's really important that you go do these 3 steps. Go in order of what the module says, but you will be extremely confused if you try and watch this recording without having done those things first. For those of you who were here yesterday and did these 3 steps, please watch carefully because it will make this whole project a lot easier. This won't be a long recording, but there are some things that you need to really know for the first day. So the first kind of thing I want to just mention, I would go open up my brainstorm from yesterday just to remind myself, like, what is it that I had even planned? I would also, we had talked about this information from Studio C script project information. I might go open that up one more time just because it has lots of helpful information, and just have that ready to go just in case. But when you are ready to start writing, you've got your idea, you know what you're going to write, you did your brainstorm, you did that from yesterday, come open up these 2 links. I would open up both of these. The first one is where you will actually do your writing. So if you are working with a partner, which you don't have to be, you'll move and go start working with your partner after you're done watching this recording. And you, remember, are allowed to work together. But I can tell not only through your document history, but I can also tell just when I am watching in class, I can tell who is actually doing most of the work. So remember, if you're working with a partner, you have to be doing the work together. If one person is doing the majority of the work, they're the one that's going to get most of the points. So the other person will just have like a missing assignment. So that means you're going to constantly be talking through your ideas together. Even if it means one person is doing most of the writing, you're coming up with everything together before it gets written. Okay. So you're allowed to just work on the same document. Here's the trick for this document, guys. Listen really carefully here. The stuff in red, those are instructions. So instructions, 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 instructions. The stuff in black is a placeholder that gets replaced with your own writing. So, right, on this part, I would be erasing that and putting mine. Same right here. Then, when I'm ready to start writing, this is important, so listen carefully here. The first part of your script is going to be a short paragraph, so about 5 sentences, and it's a detailed description of what we're seeing on the screen. Imagine you're watching your own YouTube video come to life. What are we seeing on the screen when the YouTube video starts playing? So you're going to be describing things like the set. What does the place look like? What does the location look like? Are there costumes Studio C needs to work on? Are there sound effects? Are there props they need to get ready? Are there certain lighting that they need to do? So you're going to have at least 5 sentences of describing all that kind of stuff. So let me show you an example. Let me get to the right tab here. So this was our fun video yesterday. If I was the person who had written this fun video,
Alright, so
this is what I would have to start describing right at the beginning. I have to explain what I want this to look like for Studio C. So I would maybe, if my written version, I would have typed something like this. We see a man in a plumber's uniform. It has his name on a name patch. He's coming out of a bedroom that's lit that looks like a normal house. That's as much as I would have to say right there. Let me show you another example though, because this is a completely different set, right? So if I was describing this instead, I would say excuse me, we see a man in a plumber's uniform. He's got a name badge on. He's clearly in a bathroom looking down at a toilet. The lighting looks like it's inside of a house. We hear normal house sounds behind him. Right? I would be explaining all of that to Studio C because they don't know what I have pictured in my head. So that's what goes right here. I would erase this black part and I would be describing that stuff. Leave the red part for at least a day until you're more used to the format of a script. Okay. Now let's look like what that looks like in an actual student example. So this was the second link right here. Here's a finished, correctly formatted example. So that's what this person did. They just took the black stuff on the assignment and replaced it with their own information. So here was their description of what's happening on the screen. So then you're ready for the next part, which is the actor's name, which remember, you don't have to know anything about Studio C. You can make it up. You could just say actor 1, actor 2. So the actor's name does go right in the middle. So I would just take this and I could just say Bob, right? Or actor 1. And then the dialogue, what they're saying, goes right underneath. So if I want Bob to say hi, then I replace where it says dialogue, I just type hi. And remember, the dialogue does not need quotation marks, which is very different. So that does make it easier. Then you use parentheses if you want to give the actor directions of what they should be doing. Like right here, if I want Bob to say hi while he picks his nose, I replace that with picks nose. And you can have those directions for the actors. They can come right in the middle of a dialogue. They can come at the beginning. They can come at the end. It can also just be extra information. Like if you described a bunch at the beginning of the scene, but now you need more information to be given, you can put it in parentheses. Just put it wherever you need it to happen. Now, I only put a certain amount of the actor's name dialogue. You'll just continue that pattern as long as you need it or as short as you need it, okay? If you're doing one of the worst blank ever, you're just going to have a lot of little, here's a description, here's what the actor is saying and doing, and that just repeats over and over. So this whole pattern that I just explained, the whole pattern just repeats. I made it repeat, I think, one time, but that's because by that point you'll be used to it. So you just continue that pattern as much or as little as you need. Some people have really long scenes. Most of their script is just the actors continuing saying and doing stuff. But here's a trick. If you have a set change, so like, for example, here he's in the bathroom, but later on he's in a kitchen. This is when I would do another description. So this is where I would then use this part right here. I would have a new description of a new set change, and then I would have the actor continue to say and do stuff. So that's the clue, right? You might only ever have one. It might just be one set the whole time, but if you do ever have a set change, that's when you start a new description, which let me show you it on the example script, right? So here was one set. They had the actor say and do stuff. Then they have another set here. So here's a set location change. Then they have the actor continue to say and do stuff. So you'll see that your goal is to maybe try and write about a page, but the first day is always the slowest. So if you don't quite end up writing an entire page today, it's okay. Just get as far as you can. You should be working for as long as you can today. There's not really a magic time this first day because I just need people to get as far as they can, and then we'll continue this project in the future. So if you know you're a fast writer and you're going to end up writing extra, great, go crazy, but no one should be finishing today. Thanks, guys.